Good morning and welcome to the 2021 College Football Playoff Semifinal at the 86th Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. It's our Wednesday media availability with the number 4 Cincinnati Bearcats. Joining us today will be defensive lineman Curtis Brooks, safety Brian Cook, wide receiver Trey Tucker, and tight end Josh Wiley. As a reminder, please use the raise hand function to indicate you want to ask a question. When called on, please state your name and affiliation before asking your question. Curtis, good morning. If you would, provide us with an opening statement on your excitement about being in the college football playoff before we open the floor for questions.
We're extremely excited just for the opportunity to be here. Got a chance to play on a huge stage for a national championship. This is everything we all wanted and worked for. We just wanted the opportunity to play for championships. So let's get it going.
Our first question comes from Michael Mursky.
Hey, Curtis. Michael Mursky from the Next Network. First of all, congratulations on the success that you've had this year, as well as the success that your team has had going into the college football playoffs. As an all-AAC first-team member, is there an added pressure on you to perform every game, especially against the number 1 team in the country?
Oh, man, I wouldn't say pressure, man. It's just more of an opportunity just to go play. You know, I've been in Cincinnati for quite a few years, so I don't really know if I feel too much pressure, but I just love the opportunity to go out there and just compete every game I get.
The next question comes from Justin Williams.
Hey, Curtis. Yesterday they asked Coach Tressel about if there's any kind of unheralded guys on the defense. You know, a lot of talk about Sauce and Kobe and things like that. And, you know, he said he kind of felt like that was the case up and down the depth chart on the defense, but he specifically mentioned you. Do you feel kind of like an unheralded, you know, overlooked guy? Does the defense in general feel like that, do you think?
Oh, man, I don't know if I can really speak on, like, if I'm, on that situation, but I know out there on the field, we all play as one, and we're together, so that off-the-field attention, I'm happy for anybody who gets here. If it don't come, that's okay.
Our next question comes from Ivan Mazel.
Hi, Curtis. You guys have come a long way over the time since you got to UC. How do you keep in perspective this moment and not let it get too big for you?
Oh, man, you just prepare like it's any other week. You know, keep the same routine. Coach Fick is always preaching a routine and sticking to what you're doing, and that's just exactly what we want to do. Even though, like, we're on a huge stage, a huge opportunity, we still want to keep the same routine just to keep it going the same way.
Do you think that what do you anticipate those early moments, being, you know, playing at Jerry World and coming out onto that surface with that many people there? What do you anticipate that feeling like?
Breathtaking. I'm sure it will be. But as soon as the ball will go down, I'm sure all the butterflies and stuff will go away. But I know as soon as the first run out, the first glance at the crowd, it'll be something spectacular.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from Michael Casagrande.
Yeah, you came from Virginia. When you moved to Cincinnati, what was your first impression of the chili in Cincinnati?
I first came to Cincinnati, I was not a huge fan of the chili, especially the Skyline. But I got some great, friends from Cincinnati. Malik Van, Darren Beavers kind of sat me down and forced me to eat it one more time, and I'm actually a huge fan of it now. Crazy.
What's your message to people who the haters of Skyline chili who don't think it looks good?
Don't try it. You can't just try it one time. You gotta go back and try it again. Have to.
Thank you.
The next question comes from Bobby Nightingale.
Hey, Curtis. Just wanted to ask, kind of last January, what was it like when a lot of the guys, yourself, Kobe, guys that decided to come back for another season, kind of the feeling, like Marcus too, just do you kind of remember what was going through your head, kind of the expectations for this year when a lot of guys decided to come back?
Oh man, well, what's funny is none of us actually discussed what we were going to do. As far as coming back, it just all kind of happened. Then once we realized, we looked around and realized who was back, we realized we could really do something special this year. And it played out, in that way, in a way.
Next question comes from Jeremy Rauch.
Hey Curtis, Jeremy Rao, Fox 19 in Cincinnati. I wanted to ask you about, kind of piggybacking on that last question. You are a 60-year guy, and you obviously aren't the only one. You've seen a full program turnaround, Curtis. What has it been like experiencing that, and how much have you kind of been able to realize what this week means, knowing where you came from almost 6 years ago?
Oh man, I still remember the feeling of the first time getting in Cincinnati, the first time being on campus, how practice used to feel, and then how practice has changed now. But as far as seeing the program turn around, man, it's been something spectacular. Coach Fick, he's really I don't know, in a way, a legendary coach in my eyes, because he's brought so much success to not just the team, but to individual players, everyone. So with that being said, he just helped the whole program, everyone win it. So the turnaround was huge.
Next question comes from Chad Brendel.
Hey Curtis, Chad Brendel, Bearcat Journal. Just take me through what was it in the middle of the season that really saw your play take a step up and be able to make the impact up the middle that you have from what probably the Notre Dame game, Indiana Notre Dame game on.
Oh man, I don't know. I guess it's just preparation. A lot of work, a lot of hours. We just go out there and go play. I really try not to worry about stats too much when I'm playing the game. You just go play, just go have fun, and usually things like that just take care of itself, and they did.
Our next question comes from Keith Jenkins.
Curtis, you mentioned how practice used to feel and then how it feels now. What's the difference between then and now, do you think?
Oh man, I just remember being as a freshman, I could walk out there, maybe my shoes weren't tied up all the way, maybe my ankles weren't taped, past me, I never been strapped up all the way. Can't do that now. It's intense out there every practice, even on a Thursday walkthrough. It's a mental focus, that we have to have, and I really feel like that, and along with the weight training, really helped the program turn around, in my opinion.
Next question comes from Jeff Spiegel.
Hey Curtis, Jeff Spiegel, WBMA Birmingham. You mentioned all the seniors on this team. Is there a sense on this team that that it's kind of now or never for Cincinnati, that you really need to take advantage of this moment and try to finish this thing? And how big would it be to not only beat the #1 team in America, but to just finish this thing and win a national title?
Well, first off, for the seniors, it's definitely now or never, because it's our last chance. But as far as Cincinnati, I don't believe this is the last time Cincinnati will be on a stage like this. The program's headed in the right way in all directions, in my opinion. So I really believe Cincinnati's going to become a household name, one of those top 10 programs that Coach Fick preaches about all the time. I definitely think that's possible. Oh, and knocking off Alabama, oh man, talk about a dream come true. As a kid, watching football, Alabama, Nick Saban, that's who's on TV all the time. Now we get the opportunity to go play them. It's everything you ask for as a football player.
Thanks.
This question comes from Callum Squires.
Hi, Curtis. Thanks for taking the time. Obviously, with going up against Heisman Trophy winner Bryce Young, that's a huge challenge for you guys to try and contain him and put pressure on him. What have you seen on film that makes you think that's something you guys as a D-line can really accomplish on Friday?
Oh man, well first off, Alabama's offensive line. The first thing that pops out when you watch the film is that they're coached up great. You know, tight hands, quick sets, all across the line. So that's the first thing I noticed right away. But you know, it's definitely definitely gonna get our opportunities to go rush and get after him. Bryce Young, Heisman, he won it for a reason. Really, the best in the country. That's what the Heisman, you know, means and stuff like that. So definitely, we're just looking forward to the option to go out there and play.
Thank you. Good luck.
The next question comes from Justin Williams.
Curtis, you talked about that, decision to come back for you for a 6th year. Have you had any guys maybe seek out advice about if they should use that extra year for them moving forward?
For sure, and I tell them all the same thing, man. It's a risk and reward to everything. So if you come back, make sure you honing in on your craft, focusing, and just don't come back, just to, I don't know. If you know what I'm saying, I don't know.
Don't come back just to do it. Come back with a purpose, I guess.
Right.
And this question comes from Michael Casagrande.
Sorry, I didn't have another question.
All right. Next question comes from Chad Brendel.
Curtis, take me through that moment. You're at the senior banquet. You've got the college football playoff show on. I know everybody kind of knew the way that things played out on Saturday that you guys were in, but what goes through your mind when that CPAW pops up and you see, that Cincinnati's in the college football playoff and you get that reward for coming back and working as hard as you have?
You really see your hard work unfold, and right in that moment. In that moment, I had my mom and my dad with me, with all of the seniors in the banquet. It was just, how you draw it up in your head in the picture perfect frame. It was exactly how I dreamed of.
And our final question comes from Michael Mursky.
Hey, Curtis, what's been the difference between preparing for this playoff game comparing to the bowl games you've played in the past?
Oh, man. Well, that goes back to the routine thing I was just speaking on. Coach Fick prepares the same for everyone. Of course, there's a little bit more moxie there because we're playing, we got an opportunity to play for a national championship. But basically, it's really just the same preparation, the same work, the same schedule, stuff like that.
Thank you.
Curtis, thank you very much. Best of luck on Friday.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.